could tell a lot by a man with him stepping up because it's easier to run away. Like, it's easier to do that. And so it tells the character of a man when he steps up and chooses his family.
But men that were raised by single mom, they appreciate their mom, and they saw their mom being so strong that they create an unrealistic expectation from women.
Yeah.
So like when you're pregnant or you're going through something like my mama did. My mom had 3 kids and took care of all of them. And you're complaining about
You can do it.
And it shouldn't be that way.
Right.
That's not your mom. And your mom may have to be strong. Right. I have you, so I don't have to be able to be that.
Right. I don't have to be strong. So when I think about it, my mom did not have a father figure in her life. All she knew was to work and take care of her family. So I never felt a down part until high school. Because I was starting to do things that I normally didn't do. Like I was acting out in ways that she was shocked. Because I started seeing things.
Welcome to another episode of Can I Grow with Live and Grow. Y'all, today we have in the building our first guest, our very first guest. And this guest is one that's really special to Ro and I. She is one of the kindest people that we know, one of the people that is really dedicated to her journey of growth. I've personally known her for about 5 years now, and I've seen her literally invest so much spirit. I'm not even going to go into it until we start with the podcast, but so much into her personal growth. Her name is Dominique. Hi.
And actually it was 7 years.
Oh, 7? I'm sorry, babe. 7 years.
I still love you. Hi, everybody. I'm Dominique. I'm excited for you, too. I'm really proud of you. This is great.
Thank you, friend.
You look good. So, I'm happy to be here.
So, Dom, before we even get into what this episode is about, can you tell people who you are? Let us know a little about yourself.
I'm a girl from Detroit. I'm an only child. What else?
What are some things you enjoy doing?
Oh, I love to travel. I'm an accountant, so I work in that field. I have my bachelor's degree in business administration. What else about me? I'm a very outgoing person. I moved to Atlanta for 5 years, decided to move back to Detroit and move back to Atlanta and then move back to Detroit. So my life is very free-spirited. I do what I want and I just keep it going.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, so thank you for coming. So the month of June is Father's Day, right?
Yeah.
And Ro and I were talking about how we want to pay homage to our fathers, the different father, not daughter, but father-children relationship and dynamics. Right. And it just hit me that not everybody can relate to our experience with fatherhood or our relationship with fatherhood. Ro's father was a single dad who took care of his daughter and then got married, had Ro, and was very active in her life throughout her whole life. Yeah. My father was very active, very hands-on in my life. And I was like, I want to be able to do an episode that resonates with people that don't resonate with our story, to let them know that your growth journey matters. It might look different from ours, but it really matters.
And it doesn't define you of who you are. Everyone has a different experience, and I think that we can all relate, and this episode will be able to help someone else who could relate to Dom.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So this is to touch someone who resonates with Dom in their growth journey. Anyone can really take a piece from here.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Dom, you already told us you're a girl from Detroit. You're an only child. Can you give us a little background story about the way you were born and in relations to your father, like your relationship with your father?
Okay, so I'm gonna do like a little story time. My mom has always been a single parent, so it's always just been my mom. When I was born, I think my dad was in prison. I think my dad was when I was born.
Okay.
Yeah, so he wasn't around like that. And when he was around, it wasn't enough. Like, he wasn't showing up. So he went to prison. He got out when I was 13. So he kind of like came back in the loop a little bit. But it would be times where he would say he was coming to get me and all that kind of stuff, and he would never show up. And then it was a conversation my mom and my dad had about picking me up from I went to Nova High School. He wouldn't do it. Like, he wouldn't come get me from school. So
Did he say he would?
I don't know the conversation really between my mom and him, but it was something like, I can't pick her up. But that just shows, like, it was always a thing for me. Like, I got used to I just got used to the not showing up, but then I would be around my friends and I would see the relationship that they had with their fathers but my story is different. So I didn't have that experience, but I'm okay. Like, I'm totally fine.
Before I even get to later on in the story, I want to backtrack to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So, did your father go to prison while your mother was pregnant, or after?
How did they meet?
Yeah,
Just
how
a
did
little.
it's
How did Dom come
But
about?
can I tell you something? My mom don't like talking about it. Like, anytime I bring up my dad, it's like So it's kind of like.
So you don't know how they met?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the love story.
Okay, the love story in Detroit. They stayed on Dre Road, and he stayed around the corner, and he would always walk past my mom sitting on the porch.
Her mom is fine. Her mom is
Yeah,
fine.
so my mom was like, "Who's that cute man?" My dad had long, pretty hair. Like, he's a handsome man. So he would come over there and just like talk to her and stuff. So they started dating, and then my dad was a cheater. So it was moments where like my mom would pop up and just
Doing some young people shit.
young people shit, but she cared about him. Like, she liked him, she loved him, and it just didn't work out. It was just one of those things that just didn't work out because my dad was a cheater. So if my dad ever sees this would be so crazy, but I doubt he ever sees it. But yeah, my dad was a cheater, so it didn't work out. That's really it. Like, I can't even tell you a bunch about him because my mom, any question that I ask,
It's probably one of those things where she looks back like, my baby came about it, but like, was he like dating him? Was that like a mistake for her?
I think so.
I think in a lot of pain there.
It's right. It kind of.
And my mom hides things, guys. Like, she covered things up. So I like to communicate. I think back then, nobody really talked about their feelings or communicated about what was really going on. You just act crazy, and my mom popped up.
And there was so many secrets too.
Yeah, our generation is so much more transparent.
Heck yeah.
She did. Yeah, I think the last straw for her was seeing him out, like walking. They were walking somewhere into like a club or a bar or something.
Him and
another lady. Yeah.
Was this before you were born or while you were born?
I think this was after I was born.
So they dated, got together before you were born, and your father had an issue with infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got pregnant while they were still together.
Correct.
And then while she was pregnant,
he was continuing.
He was continuing cheating, and then he got sent to prison
while she was pregnant.
Yeah.
That's a lot of trauma.
Wow.
That's a lot of pain for your mom.
It's me laughing because it is a lot of drama, but you know, you try to laugh.
And you're the only child. So it's like that's her first experience having a child.
Yeah.
Probably, I'm not sure how old your mom is, but if she was kind of younger, that was probably one of her serious relationships, you know, so a lot of that could affect, you know, and so in order, because me being a mother, and, you know, I can only imagine, like, so in order for her to cope and deal and be strong for you, it's like, I got it. Because that's what motherhood is about too.
Yeah.
Like, I can truly relate to that as a single mother. I mean, their dad is around, but just in the day to day, you know, you just gotta like, it's like you gotta keep going. Mm-hmm. You know, you just gotta do.
And I admire it because as a kid, your brain is not thinking. You're a kid, so you just want to play. You want to go to school and be with your friends. You want to do things. You're not thinking of what she's going through.
Exactly.
So,
And she's thinking everything about you. She's thinking, like, I brought this child into this world, and I just want to make sure this child has everything.
Because you internalize that. Choosing the wrong man to be your child's father.
In her mind, she's like, I didn't choose, my child didn't choose to be here.
Exactly.
So I'm going to do the best I can.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mom.
Yeah, shout out to Mom.
Seriously, she's amazing when I think about it. Just all the stuff that she went through and just watching her not work and having to, I'm getting really emotional. Watching her just struggle, like me having to go to my cousin's house to eat because she couldn't figure it out. So it's just a lot of things, like she's super mom, so I love her.
Mama, I love you.
Never. I don't know. I just love hearing that, like, kids who have a single mom, like, and what they think. Because I always just, like, wondering what my kids, you know, are going to think about me. I pray I'm not single forever, but I don't know. I just always wonder.
She was like, I'm dead.
Yeah.
She would always say that, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what can you do in a sense? And then you beat yourself up about it. Because it's like, I chose the wrong parent for my kid, you know?
But can you really say, yeah, I chose the wrong father for my kid? At that time, you didn't know what you were doing.
That's true.
It was a moment when you felt good about him.
That's
and you enjoyed that.
And you know, that's what I talk to. Sorry for breaking you up. I say
Uh-huh.
this to people all the time that make statements about people like, why would you get pregnant out of that? You're just doing what most people do.
Yeah.
Most people, if we're honest with you, fall in love and start having sex, right?
Yeah.
It's just that my cards were dealt that I got pregnant, right? My cards were dealt that I got pregnant. Some people's cards get dealt that they get pregnant and they decide to terminate it. And I just felt, I don't know, inclined to keep my child. So there's nothing that makes me different from you except the fact that by luck of the cards, my cards were dealt for me to get pregnant. And my child is meant to be here.
Exactly. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's plan in life is totally different. It's never going to be the same. So saying like, what did you say?
I just said that I felt like, dang, I chose the wrong
Yeah.
Part everything
for my
that
Yeah.
it's just
for my kid.
you never know. I don't think anything was wrong about it. It's just the decisions that we make as an adult.
As an adult. And everyone makes that adult because that decision. Because if you think about most people, everybody has that crazy ex or that ex that, you know, they're like, man, I'm glad I left that relationship.
Yeah, and you learn
You just were quote unquote lucky enough to not be dealt the card of pregnancy. Not so when people talk about like single mom stuff, I'm like, shut up, because the reality of the fact is you were doing the same thing.
And a lot of their mamas are single mamas. A lot of the men, it's really the men I see, not the bash men. I always give that disclaimer.
No, honestly, it is always the man because you see a lot of people you see a lot of men not doing the job that they were supposed to do, but also their upbringing. You have to pay attention to their upbringing. How were they brought up? Were their family close? But also, it's men that did not even have that, but they're good men.
And you choose, right? I feel like it's about choosing. If you choose to step up, because I always quote Steve Harvey, but I like him. And I remember on one of his shows, he was talking about like just you could tell a lot by a man with him stepping up because it's easier to run away.
Yeah.
Like it's easier to do that, and so it tells the character of a man when he steps up and chooses his family. Because honestly, it's weight for these men.
It is.
Think about it, like choosing to step up, choosing to be there day in and out. Caring about them, protecting, providing, all of that.
And men take the whole unplanned pregnancy way harder than women. I know that personally because my pregnancy was not planned.
Yeah.
And Anthony and I were not really married. We're not married at all when it happened. And I took it hard, but he took it hard in a way where he put on a mask.
Yeah.
Like everything was okay. When in reality, he was like falling apart.
And I feel like he took that on too because it's like, I know I ain't gonna be no shitty father.
Yeah.
So it's like now, I'm gonna have to really like change my life because I already know that now that a child's coming into this world,
And remember, he said
I'm gonna do my thing.
He said that. He said everything. When we was in the kitchen at the old house, and he was like, everything has changed now. I have to focus on my family now.
Yeah.
Like, and that makes sense.
It really does show the character of a man and the growth. Like how we talk about growth all the time, how far they are in their growth journey. Because sometimes, because I've seen a lot of men who did that with their first couple of children because they were immature, but then they matured to a certain place and they end up getting married later, and they did a phenomenal job with the second set.
Yeah.
I'm Brian McKnight right now, but
yeah.
Girl, that's a whole nother episode. But yeah, I see that a lot. Where sometimes I think it's not even the fact that they've had bad character, but sometimes their character has not developed to the place where they're even responsible enough to even be able to carry. But shoot, if you're not responsible, you shouldn't be shooting the shot.
That's true. Because I always, even with my kid's dad, he said to me, like, I know I wasn't the best, like, as supportive as he should have been during my pregnancy. Yeah. I mean, he was there, but, like, I wanted someone to, like, rub my feet, baby me, you know, those type of things. And he wasn't there. But he always says, like, now, I feel like he would be better now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, but
I mean, because now
And is kind of what you were saying.
Yeah,
like he
exactly.
said that then he was that, but because he even said to me, "Can I grow?"
Exactly. It's a maturity and exposure too.
Yeah.
Like some people were never, like some men too that I've noticed that were raised by a single mom.
Mhm.
They saw their mom being so strong. I feel like women who were raised by a single mom have another perspective of appreciation. But men that were raised by a single mom, they appreciate their mom, but they saw their mom being so strong that they create an unrealistic expectation for women.
Yeah.
So like when you're pregnant or you're going through something, like my mom had 3 kids and took care of all of them, and you're here complaining about
Right. You can do it.
And it shouldn't be that way.
It should
I'm
not.
not your mom.
Right. I'm not your mom.
Things are different.
And your mom may have had to be strong,
right?
And I have you, so I don't have to be able to do that.
Right. I don't have to be
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
I think it's just everybody upbringing. Like, not upbringing. Yeah, everybody upbringing.
Yeah.
Everything is different.
It really
I
is.
want to tackle something. Go back to your story.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask a little bit about your dad. If you do know this,
Mhm.
was he? What was his upbringing like? Did he have a 2-parent household, single parent household? You know, what's a little about him?
I had a nana. Yeah, he had a nice upbringing, I think. I don't really remember the father part, but I remember his sisters and his cousins. Like, it was a nice family. And I did go to my nana house a few times when I think about
Do
it.
you know if your nana was ever married to his dad?
No, I never seen him.
Yeah.
Oh, his dad. So he
So
was
there's a
basically
high possibility
fatherless.
that his mom
Yeah.
gave him a good lifestyle without a father.
I don't remember a father.
Because he may not have even known how to be a father.
A father. I have another question too.
Yeah.
How about your mom? What was her relationship like with her father?
Nope. No fatherless. And then before my so you know how I have my grandpa that just passed away?
Yeah.
That's like I don't want to call him a step grandpa, but that was my grandpa when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So my mom's dad, he was never in the picture, but when he was about to pass away, he finally contacted us, and then we was at the hospital like a few days before he passed away. But that's it. My mom didn't have a relationship with her.
How old was she before she got a true father figure in her life?
Yeah, honestly, not. When I get these questions, I dig deep. My mom didn't have it.
Yeah.
A father figure.
Yeah.
She didn't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she saw her mom do the dang thing too. So when she got in that situation, she already had a role model of like, I need to tie my shoe and do what I need to do for my child.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when my grandmother, she had 4 children. She just worked and made sure she provided. My granny been married 3 times, so my mom didn't really have a relationship with the stepfathers, but they were just in the house. And back then, I think the communication was totally different.
Yeah.
My granny was just working and taking care of her kids, and that was it. The man was just doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Making sure he had a meal and he was working.
Right, she was just taking care of home.
Yeah, just taking care of her kids, and that was it. So when I think about it, my mom did not have a father figure in her life. All she knew was to work and take care of her family.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's me now. I just know I started work when I was 16. I just knew to work and go to school and just take care of myself.
And I was about to ask, I was going to get there too when I asked about how you think that has affected you in your life. But before I even get there, I want to go back to the young Dom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're living in this life with your mom, right? And you're like, this is life. My childhood is good. People love me. At what point did you look around and think like, like a dad should be people have dads, you know? Because kids don't think stuff like that until something, a light bulb goes like, other people have that. At what point did you have that revelation, and how was that for you?
I want to say high school. When I was at Nova High, and I noticed like dads would pick their kids up and stuff, and it was just like me taking a bus or daddy and daughter dance, that thing. And I never had that. So I just was not. I'm not gonna say I just was left out. I just didn't have that ever, with anybody. So even when my mom was dating, I don't even really think I had a guy in my life to be like a father figure that she was dating. So
So it's just you.
I want to say I want to say in high school when I realized like
Amazing that in high school. That's like I find there's 2 parts of me. One of it, is really proud of your mom for being able to shield you that long.
Yeah.
Because high school is not a young child.
Yeah. But I start having feelings in myself. Like, you know, middle school, you're not thinking emotions.
Yeah.
I don't think I started feeling emotions.
You're kind of exploring in middle school. You're in the exploratory stage.
Yeah. So when I got to high school, I started seeing shit and just noticing like a lot of stuff.
On one hand, I am so in awe of your mom for being able to shield you that long, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on the other hand, it makes me sad because that shows me that until high school is when you realize this, your environment and exposure. Because I think of for me, I saw dads sometime I was younger. So I was in the same situation, like my cousins who don't have dads. I would have realized it around 5 or when I had consciousness, because all of my cousins had dads, all of my friends had dads. So it would have been like, It makes me think about your overall environment and how many people around you went growing up.
Keep in mind, she was a single mother too.
Yeah.
So if her mother was trying to make ends meet, you ain't no telling where they were living. You know, it could have been living around other single mothers.
So it's a complex. It's like on the one hand, I'm really in awe of your mom. Like literally, I can't even put to words the amount of respect and awe that I have for your mom. But on the other hand, I'm really interested about environments.
Right. What was your environment
like? It always been me and my mom, clearly. So I have cousins and stuff. You know how you just mentioned cousins and fathers? I've never seen any of my cousins with their dad.
Wow.
Like my auntie, the dad was not around. It was never a family household of a dad there.
Yeah.
In any of my relationships with my family.
Wow.
So now I've never experienced a father being inside of a house, an actual household of.
So where did this start? Is my question. I guess did it start with your grandma? Because are these your first cousins?
Yep.
So your grandma had 4 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many aunts and uncles?
I have my auntie Dana, I have my auntie Louise, and I have my uncle Pup. So I have 2 aunties and
so she had 3 girls, 1 boy.
Yep.
And I guess they saw her.
Yeah.
Their grandma.
Yeah.
They raised. But you said that she was married a couple times though.
My grandma been married 3 times, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of became normalized.
Yeah. I think it's generational too. And and I don't want to go into the depths of it. Generational, not even generational, but depths of even society. I've noticed that a lot, and maybe it started in slavery or whatever it is, with Black men not being needed in the home.
You can say it,
huh? No, I'm saying seriously. I think
because I thought you was nervous to say.
No, I was kind of nervous. But I feel like a huge thing that is really breaking up who Black women are supposed to be and who Black men are supposed to be is the fact that Black men are not in the home, and I think sometimes we get to the point where we feel like Black men are not needed in the home. And Black men are so essential in every household because the Black man has a responsibility, a shoe that no one can fill because of their strength, their leadership, all those things. And by them being there, it allows for the Black woman to be soft and carry out the femininity that they're supposed to live.
And I do think that that's necessary. I agree with everything you're saying, but it's what do you do when you don't know how to do it? What
all you know
do?
Is to be strong.
And I think you know, it's kind of it's easier. Well, I was okay because you have those men where they say, "Well, I turned out okay, so you'll be fine." I don't know how to be a dad. I don't know. I'd rather just leave than ruin you.
I think honestly, it's something that no one can fix everybody situationally. But I think about what you said. You realize that the role of a father in high school, you saw your friend's dad picking them up. I think the Black men that right now are listening to this, whether you have a child on the way or you have a child already. You need to step up because by you stepping up into your role as fatherhood, you expose other people to the essential role of a father, and that exposure is all that's needed to be able to
see
change.
And when you say that, and they're asking how do I step up? What I would say is just showing up.
Yeah.
What is one thing you would have everything your dad could have done? What is the one thing that the babyest step that
showing up?
That's all
my dance recitals, graduation,
showing up.
School.
I don't want your money,
that stuff.
and that's what a lot of men have issues with. like, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have this, I don't have that. But honestly, they just need you to show up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
My dad showed up one time from picking me up from school.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. That leads me to ask you too. Do you have a follow-up question?
Mm-mm.
That leads me to ask you, like, how did you, as you started to, because in high school, you notice, like, there's a thing called father, and it looks like I don't have one.
And I knew it was a thing called father.
No, I mean,
I know. When I think about it, like, I knew that something was missing.
Yeah,
But my mom covered it good to where I didn't go without. She figured it out all the time. So I never felt a down part until high school. Because I was starting to do things that I normally didn't do. Like, I was acting out in ways that she was shocked.
Yeah.
Because I started seeing things that I'm in school. I'm in high school. I'm getting older.
Yeah.
and a father's love is something different, especially for a little girl.
Yes.
You know, for a girl. So
I just started witnessing things, and then I realized, like, I don't have no dad. Like,
So when you did realize that, how did, and I think you started touching on it a little bit, how did that affect you? Like, because it shows up for people in different ways. Like, how did that feeling of, I don't want to use the word lack because I don't want to put a feeling on you, but how did that feeling of whatever you felt impact you?
I was a little quieter. I would get jealous.
mm.
And I'm not a jealous. I mean, in high school, or maybe I was a jealous person.
You're human.
Yeah, so I think in high school, I would get a little jealous, and I would say things to my mom that hurt her feelings. And she said it. She brought it up probably like years later of what I was saying. And at that time, I was hurt because I was just like, damn, like, I don't have a father, and she wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I don't know what to say. Like, my friends say, hey, Don, where's your dad? You know, what am I? I don't know. I don't know where that guy is, you know? And it just sucks because I don't know. I knew he was in prison. He has other kids? Yeah, I have other siblings. So basically, I'm not being present in deciding to go to prison and not thinking about his children before doing something bad.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was more so angry about in that part.
And so I have a off-topic question. And that's not off-topic, but I'm wondering, has any of those kids' mothers ever reached out to your mother?
No.
Like, never.
Maybe when I was younger, and the experience wasn't well because he was married to someone, and they put little bitty tiny braids in my head. Like, little bitty tiny braids, and my mom was so upset.
Wait.
See, I was on, but
Okay, listen. Okay. But the thing is, I didn't really bring that up because I don't even know if that was my real sister. My mom, it was a lot of things. It's so many things that I don't even.
It's so many, and that's another topic we need to touch on another day.
People cover up
the
things.
secrets in the Black families, period.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That was covered up to me. I don't think that was my real sister at all. So for me to say,
So pause. He was married all along, or he got married at the end?
I think he got married when he was in jail.
Oh, and then he had a baby in jail?
No, see, that's what I'm saying. She was older than me, so I'm just confused on when he had that child.
And that dynamics could let me know why the moms didn't get along to start off with, because the
communication not
the timeline of women is like a web.
Yeah. No one knows, and it's like everybody is like, it seems like everybody's avoiding it.
Yeah.
We needed one woman to space it head on.
Yeah.
Nobody is communicating.
Right.
Nobody knows what exactly is going on, and
Everybody probably thought that their status in his life was like,
And I'm the one.
I'm the one. Yeah. I'm the one, and these people messed up our relationship. So I can see how it's like.
And my dad's birthday is February 22nd. He's a Pisces, so Pisces men are a little different. Yeah, they want that.
I don't know too much about Pisces men. I know Pisces women. I feel like they're sensitive, but they hide it a little. I don't know much about Pisces men.
Pisces men are cheaters. That's another conversation for another day. But to sum it all up, I think I was just upset when I got to high school, thinking back on everything that I went through with my father.
Like, damn. I don't do that.
Yeah, like I don't have my father, and I'm seeing all these kids getting picked up, and it's just like a thing.
That's
like they
normal.
hanging with their dad. Oh, my dad's gonna take me. I was like, damn, like I don't have that at all. So But I'm okay.
So
yeah, of course.
that leads me to ask another question. So you realize all that, and of course you become an adult. How did that realization, and how did the lack of a presence of a man in your life affect your relationship with men?
Leaving.
Ooh. Elaborate.
Leaving. When I just felt like it was too much, or I felt like it was too much pressure on me, I would leave. Because maybe I felt that way because I didn't have that visual or seen an actual couple be together and stay together. I'm like, oh, well, I'm just like, fuck it, I can leave. I don't have to be with you. And then it was like, I'm going to leave you before you leave me because I already felt like men left me anyway.
That's a fear of abandonment, friend.
Yeah. So when my dad left me, so it's just like, oh, and when people do leave me, I'm okay with it. Because are you really okay with it? Or are now, the age now, no, I'm not okay with it. But back then I was okay with it.
So how did you evolve that to now say, you know what, I'm not okay, and being able to say that it's okay that you're not okay, and that hurts me. You know, you leaving me, it hurts me, and being able to be vulnerable and saying that.
I think now, around COVID, I started reading the Bible more, being patient with myself, and just understanding how I can't control what happened to me.
Yeah.
And I can't take what happened to me out on other people because that's not okay. And hurt people.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to not waste people's time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not fully going to do this thing, let's not waste the time.
Yeah.
You know? And I have done that.
Yeah.
But now, growing up, now the age I'm at now, I can't do that anymore.
Can I ask you a question, Carl?
Yeah.
Do you think you've forgiven your father?
Yeah, I have. Want to know how I have? Like I said, reading the Bible and just letting go. Letting go. I can't be bitter. I can't be upset. I can't be mad at my mom for not telling me much about my dad.
Yeah.
I gotta just let that go.
I don't think you can. I don't think it's fair to say that you can be mad, but I can think it's a fair assessment for you to hold mama accountable in that sense.
Yeah.
From love, respectfully.
Yeah. But I've never been a mad person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never had I don't know how to be mad.
Not even mad, but just like curious.
But can I say something? Because I know, Dom, you're not a mad person, but people, the emotion of anger is just a fruit. It's not the root of what's going on.
Yeah.
So the fruit shows up for different people. For some people, the root is hurt and feeling of abandonment, right? Some people, that fruit shows up as anger. Some people, that fruit shows up as promiscuity. For you, that fruit shows up a lot of times in relationships as like building a shield. Like you want to protect yourself so much that I'm going to create this shield around me, and you're not going to get past it. And that shield sometimes I've noticed looks like you not like you protecting your feelings by being by getting not cold. Yes, cold actually. I'm your friend.
I keep a guard.
She gets cold and has that guard up like I'm not even going to allow you to get through. But the thing about love is there can never be true love unless you give someone the permission to hold the key of hurt breaking your heart and trust that they will not.
But I did one time let that guard down. And you know the person that I let that guard down when I was with him for like 4 years. After that, the guard went right back.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this is learned behavior though.
Ooh, ask them. Don't ask me.
What was your mother's relationship? What was her relationship with men that she dated?
This is such
a question.
This is a great one because I think this also has an effect on me growing up too. My mom is. Hey,
look at talking. No, I'm gonna be edited out.
Okay. My mom, she didn't show any emotions, y'all. My mom is very just gotta get shit done. I gotta work. I gotta take care. I don't have time for feelings and stuff. My mom is not a mushy person. I am. I'm mushy to her. So when it comes to, I think now she shows feelings because now that I'm older, I can talk to her and communicate. And recently, I think when I first moved back home, she was like, Dominique, I appreciate you for teaching me patience.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, like certain things that I do, I notice that I do it out of anger or being petty. And then here's me. I don't do petty things. I'm just calm all around. Like, bring it back down, Mom. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I think me doing that shows her a lot. Just like, you don't have to be upset all the time or ready to go off. My mom is ready to go off every time. Sometimes she thinks I have attitude when I'm talking in a tone.
Yeah.
And I don't. That's just how I talk.
Yeah.
So then I have to step back like, Dominique, don't go back and forth with your mother.
Yeah.
That's just her. That's just how she is.
Yeah.
And she's older now. She's 55. So you think she's going to change
Yeah.
that at 55?
No.
Or could she change that at 55?
Old adult can change if they want
If they want to.
Yeah.
But
they desire it and they're aware of it. And that's why I think it's important that's why I said it's important that you express that to her, you know?
Watching this podcast might be what you
just open up to her and express, well, why didn't we talk about these things, Mom? Like, I know maybe going to dinner and just like, Mom, why didn't we talk about these things? Like, and that'll help her grow ultimately because she's already learning a lot from you. And I think that she takes what you say seriously. She admires you, your strength, and you have things that she doesn't have that you can offer it to her. Yeah. So that's why I said.
And as a mother, although my child is only a toddler, I'll tell you that the experience of motherhood is one that's so unique. Because like I talk to Anthony all the time about how Noble's like nonverbal, like he can talk, but he's one, so he can't talk but so much. But he teaches me so much by like just his natural temperament. And like your children have this special way of like making you see things within yourself that sometimes you don't even realize. And there's somebody that you love enough that you want to change.
Yeah, for them. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you gotta want it for yourself too.
For yourself, but But
their encouragement and sometimes them saying it's like out of the mouth of babes.
Yeah.
Because literally, my 6-year-old son, one day I was on the phone with my mom and I was asking her, like, I ask people opinion on stuff often. And I was asking her opinion on something. And then I was like, I kind of got irritated by her response. And my 6-year-old goes, Mommy, if you really want to do it, why don't you just do it? Why do you have to call her ex-grandma? He said it just like that. Yeah. I said, it kind of caught me off guard, but I learned stuff from them.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And the thing, other people, because I say that to you all the time, but hearing it from a pure heart, it's like,
wow. When they don't know what's going on in the world.
Just so you just observe.
Or I even have an aunt who used to be in a relationship that was just horrible and not conducive for her. Her daughter said to her, Mommy, do you have low self-confidence? Someone else said that to you, and it'd be like, well, your child said it's like,
different.
I need to change. So,
right.
So I think you have more influence on your mom than you know. Her love for you gives you that influence.
Yeah, and also I think my mom, she's there for me all the time. Any decision I decide to make, if I want to move back, if I want to go somewhere, she's there, she's on it.
Yeah.
If I decided to just leave and be done with something, she's okay with it. But maybe I needed her to sit with me and say, this is not okay.
Yeah.
You need to communicate and work on that. But she didn't have that.
Yeah.
So she can't only need something that.
Right.
Yeah, she couldn't help me in that situation because that's all she knows is to leave and say, forget it.
And that's what you say makes a good point because we've been friends for a while now, and something I always talk to you about in most relations, like, Dom, people are not disposable. You can't just snip. And I know your heart. Like, that's the thing. I know your heart, so I know when you know someone's heart, you know where it's coming from. Period. But that's something I know that you struggle with is being able to instead of just cutting someone off, communicate. And stuff like that. I think you're a very kind person, but it's like once you get to your point where it's like I can't take no more, it's like there's no communication. It's like
well, now it is.
Yeah.
Now in my past few things, you've improved. Now
there's some areas we need to talk about. You have improved, but we do need to talk about. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, certain things I have gotten better.
Yeah, you have.
I have.
And I was about to even ask you about that.
She's told me about a lot of areas where you've grown. She really spoke to me a lot about like your relationship with God and how that has evolved over the years, which leads me to ask you what brought that on. Like, did you go through a transitional period?
Yeah. What's part of the thing?
COVID, my mom and granny caught it.
Oh wow.
And I was so vulnerable and sad and hurt. Like I just didn't want anything to happen. I was like, God, if you just heal them, I'll just change. Like I'll be better. I'll do that. I'll read the whole Bible. I think I deleted social media for like 6 months. I worked out, I got myself together, I was reading the Bible, I was able to finish it, and I feel like a totally different person.
Yeah.
And they were fine, you know, because my she was 75 when she had it, so you know, the older people, it's worse. So I was just worried, but I shouldn't have been worried. I should have just gave it all to God. I trusted Him. Yeah. But that's when I just was changing things. And
I beg to differ. I think that's when you turn to God. But I met you when you decided to move back to Detroit, because Dom lived in Atlanta when we met, and then you decided to move to Detroit. For your 30th birthday, I remember going, you said, normally we want to do something large. You said, I just want to do something really intimate. We're in the house, just about 10 of her friends, just chilling. And she had this, I just felt like a spirit over you, that you were just tired of where you were at and you were searching for something. You were searching, because at that time you were like, you were on and off Instagram, and you were like just searching for something. So I think you were searching for God in different places, and when that happened, that was a breaking point where you just went directly to Him.
Yeah, I had nobody else to go to.
Yeah.
So when you have nothing, not even when you don't have a friend, and I have amazing friends. When I can't, the friends can't help me.
Exactly.
Family can't help me no more. I have to literally dig deep in myself, and I have to grow my relationship with God. That's all you can do. When you get to that point, you have to do it.
There's a way that only God can reach.
No more distractions. So although 2019 was a very hurtful year. The greatest thing was me graduating college, but that was a rough year.
Yeah.
That was the relationship with my best friend falling apart, and I had nothing else. I'm leaving. I'm going home.
It's like I'm bottom.
Yeah. And that
only way up is up from there.
Yeah. Right. And then when I was just like, Mom, I'm ready to just come back home, I was like, okay, let's do it. And that could have been a moment where my mom could have communicated with me.
Stop running. Why are you running now?
Why are you running? What's the problem?
Yeah.
But when you have a person, when you have a mother that
she runs too.
Yeah.
And I think she wants. I was just gonna say, I think she really just wants to support you and be there for you.
Yeah, that's all she was doing. Yeah,
but not realizing how to
where she comes from too. Because even with you being your friend, sometimes I feel like I need to present things to you more gently than I'm realizing I need to. Like sometimes, like the way like I correct Rolanda. Like if Rolanda's doing something, you see how just now I was like, like the way I correct her, like this, that, and third. I feel like I correct you, and then subconsciously I correct you in a much more gentle way, and I don't know why.
And that's the thing, because remember when we was at the house and you said something, and you thought that you said it in a smart way, and you was like, I didn't mean it like that. And I was like, I know you didn't mean it like that.
I didn't even receive it that way.
But because it's Olivia. Like, our relationship is so strong that anything she said to me, I would never feel like I would want to leave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the fear too. When and I know we're talking about family relationship, but I think this goes into another branch. I think because with Ro, it might not be that I think it's because I've seen the pattern of relationship in your life where when you feel to someone, wow, this is subconscious. I've never thought this before. So it's by processing. I've seen the pattern of relationship in your life where when someone crosses you, you're like, I'm done. Whereas, girl, I know she ain't going nowhere. So you're like, girl, get yourself together. So I feel like I need to come at you in a more gentle, and because you're a gentle spirit. But now that I'm realizing, I think in your life, you do need someone to.
I do. Yeah, because now that I'm older, tell me, like, no, that's not right. But now you have been doing it.
Yeah, I've been doing it a little
the past few years, you have been like, Dom, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Even when we was all in the mall the other day, and y'all was talking about me reaching out, speaking to someone, and I did it. It took me a minute, but I needed my moment to just think about it. But I did do everything that you have told me to do. I have done everything. Even that was making up with a person, I have listened to you on every aspect. Even though I still have felt the way, let me be the bigger person, because sometimes everybody's not going to be the bigger person. And I have to learn that. So I can't grow and be at peace and have my relationship with God if I got other relationships that are still messed up.
That's a word. That's a word. Because the Bible says, forgive me as I forgive others.
Yeah. So that's why I think right now in my life, I'm so calm. I have nothing going on. And if I did reach out to people and I tried to fix the relationship, it's fixed. But what I was back then is not who I am now.
Yes.
So you have
say that again. That's the essence of this podcast. Say it again for me.
What I was back then is not who I am now, and I've accepted that what we had at that time is not who I am now, and I'm okay with that. It's no beef, it's nothing. Our relationship is just different, and I'm not in that place anymore.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. So that's just a part of it. I have grown a lot.
One of our final questions is, how have you grown? Like, how have you evolved from that girl that realized she had this lack and was acting up to and that grew up to be the girl who built this wall around her, then grew up to be the girl who found God and found love and healing in God? Like, how have you grown?
With my relationship with my father now? Or just in
general, how has those struggles and all those things that have occurred in your life, how has that involved you and helped you to grow into the person you are?
Accepting what it is and dealing with it. And not allowing things to distract me. And knowing who I am.
Yeah.
And as being, I want to be a good person. So in order to receive your blessings or just have good relationships or, just anything, you have to, it starts with you first.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be happy.
You can only control you.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So you can only control how you feel and then also how people perceive it. Like, you have to just be you, but also think about other people's feelings as well. That's the big thing I also learned.
Yeah.
Because I can come off really cold-hearted and just express myself and not thinking about others. And I've learned to, Dominique, sit with yourself for a second before you say something crazy.
Yeah.
It's just, I might hurt their feelings. Or,
And if you care about that person.
Yeah. The moral of the story is just knowing you.
Yeah.
That's how I've grown. I've learned a lot about myself.
Would you say you're not at peace with the fact that the role that your father played in your life? Would you say you're at peace?
I am at peace because now I talk to him through JPay.
I was about to ask, is he in jail?
Yeah. He's a good person. He actually gets out this year, November 6th.
I remember we talked about that, and you told me about how you are kind of nervous about the dynamics, how he's going to be when he gets out. But I was telling you how divine God is, and this actually might get me emotional. God is so divine that when you turn 30, he revealed himself. Because the Bible talks about how God reveals himself to people.
Yeah.
He revealed himself to you and allows you to go on this healing journey to soften your heart to the point where when your dad gets out, you're going to have the heart of forgiveness to even create the bond and maybe even live out the things that you wanted. Whereas if you had not had allowed yourself to experience God and experience him transforming your heart, your dad could have been bought out and you would have been your same cold self to be like, man, forget you. You weren't around when I was younger and I don't need you now. But
Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess how old I am now?
How old are you?
I'm 33. This is my Jesus year.
Thank you, Jesus.
So yeah, me and my dad are fine. Like we talk on JPay. I just let it go.
Yeah.
He's, what he was back then is not what he is now.
And let him grow.
Yeah. And when you in jail, all you have is a Bible and that one room, and you learn a lot of things and the stuff that we talk about. I'm okay. I'm happy about it. So I'm in a good place with him, and it is what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna need an update.
Okay.
When the dad
we might need to bring that on.
That's a little spicy, but yeah.
We need an update. Yeah, I would love to hear that journey to him coming home.
Yeah.
And I think our audience would love to hear that too.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
My last question is, now that you talk about how you've grown, in what ways do you want to grow in the future?
What ways? Of course, I always want to get closer to God.
Yeah.
I want to be able to grow and not letting things affect me real fast. Like, you know how...
Not allowing people to have control over your emotions.
Yep. Yeah. That's it.
And I have a follow-up question to that, and we'll wrap it up. What would you tell the little girl who dad isn't showing up? What would you tell her to encourage her through this season in her life? And, that's my question.
I would tell her that in the end, everything is okay, and you're still going to be this blossoming, nurturing, sweet girl, because I am. When it comes to my friends, I love my friends to death, and I think that's my way of, when I ask Olivia, are you okay? Like, that's my thing. I always ask my friend, you okay? And that's my way of just knowing that I can be there for them no matter the fact, not no matter. That's my way of coping with it for someone not being there for me, that I'm going to show
Oh,
up.
I would do that for them.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
sweet.
Yeah.
I love
So that's
that.
how I deal with it. So
You're
yeah.
giving what I
didn't
wish you
have.
had. Yeah.
And I love that because it goes back to the elementary school days. Treat others how you want to be treated.
Yeah, exactly.
Exude that energy that you want to receive.
Yes,
and
if
God
I
will
don't have
bless you.
it, and I see other people don't really get that, I'm gonna get that, even though I didn't have it.
And Dom, it's my heart's desire, and you didn't say this for yourself, but I'm hoping you say it, but it's my heart's desire that you will meet a man that will change your perspective of what manhood is and show up for you in a way that you couldn't even imagine. And if having children is in your card, it's my desire that you will be that generational breaker.
Yes.
Where your children will have what
that.
their mother and her mother never saw. And that's my prayer for you.
Say that.
And when that day comes, like if nobody is there, and happy for you, just know that from the bottom of my heart, when that day comes, my heart is going to be shining with joy for you because I truly, deeply desire and am praying for that for you. And when that day comes,
I love you.
I'm going to be one of the happiest people in the world. So,
Thank you.
So, wrap us up.
Right. This is intense, y'all. This is intense. So, I want to first say thank you, Dom, for being so vulnerable and open and allowing us to dig deep into this. And I think what we want you to leave with is that no matter what cards you were dealt in your life, it's never too late to evolve. Change you can only control what you can control.
And you can only change what you can change.
And it's never too late for you to bloom.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again.
Thank you guys for joining us.
We'll see you next time.
Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And Dom's social media contact will be at the bottom. You guys have a blessed one.
Thank you for blooming with us, and we'll see you next time on another episode of
Can I Grow